This week's episode looks at another one of those names that's been used by some very different Transformers characters over the brand's history. Get ready to have your burning curiosity satisfied as we fire up the basics on Inferno. The toy that would become the original Inferno was first released in 1983 as part of the Japanese toy line Diaclone. The figure transformed into a Mitsubishi Fuso fire engine, and in 1984 it was also available retooled into a truck crane. Both fire engine and crane were imported by Hasbro and released as part of the second year of the Transformers toy line in 1985, as the Autobots Inferno and Grapple respectively. A profile for Inferno was written by Marvel Comics writer Bob Budiansky, which characterized him as a bot who was so eager for action that he would often abandon his job as a search and rescue operative to join his teammates battling the Decepticons instead. Inferno joined the cast of the original Transformers animated series partway through its second season. No explanation was offered for where he had come from, but he spent the season fighting both fires and Decepticons with his characteristic enthusiasm. Several episodes paired Inferno with fellow firefighter Red Alert, including their spotlight adventure, Auto Berserk, crafting a memorable double act who were good friends despite the arguments caused by the clash of Inferno's gung-ho attitude with Red's cautious, paranoid personality. Inferno would also briefly return to Cybertron to reunite with his girlfriend, Firestar. But sadly, Inferno's toy was only on sale for 1 year, and with its discontinuation in 1986, he was phased out of the series, with a planned one-line appearance in The Transformers the movie being cut during production. Inferno couldn't be phased out of the Marvel comic, however, because he wasn't in it to begin with. For unknown reasons, when the new 1985 Autobots were added to the comic, Inferno wasn't among them. However, the fact that he didn't appear in the series did mean that the United Kingdom's version of the comic was free to use him in its exclusive stories. There, he teamed with Smokescreen to face the threat of Unicron, worked alongside the Autobot commando team the Wreckers on Earth to douse the flames of the alien Firebug, and served as part of the Wreckers' successor unit, the Survivors. In 1990, a new Inferno toy was released as part of the non-transforming Action Master range of figures. The release of this toy led to Inferno finally appearing in the American comic, first showing up in a story set in a post-apocalyptic future where he was part of an Autobot resistance on a Decepticon-controlled Earth. The same year, his original toy was re-released as part of the classic range of reissues available in Europe and Australasia, which ensured that he continued to appear in the UK comic, joining the Autobots' new Earth Force team. The figure was re-released again in 1993, now with a new water-squirting cannon accessory, as part of the Transformers Generation 2 toy line, earning Inferno an appearance in the Generation 2 comic book. A few years later, in 1997, the Beast Wars toy line introduced the first new character to bear the name Inferno. Like many Beast Wars characters who reused the names of classic bots, this Inferno was a completely separate individual from the original, and he couldn't have been more different. Rather than a heroic Autobot fire engine, Beast Wars Inferno was an evil Predacon fire ant. As seen in the Beast Wars cartoon, when Inferno emerged from his stasis pod on prehistoric Earth, the powerful instincts of his beast mode somehow overrode his logic circuits, leaving him a crazed soldier with a real ant's fanatical loyalty to his queen, in this case, Predacon leader Megatron.
Yes, my queen. I wish she wouldn't call me that.
A fearsome warrior unfazed by pain endured in the service of his royalty, Inferno quickly became a favourite with fans, characterised by the insane cackles of delight and often very quotable one-liners that he delivered while burning his enemies with his flamethrower.
Pain is my friend. Allow me to introduce you to it. You're no match for me. Burn, traitor, burn!
Ready to rock and roll, insect?
I don't rock and roll. I burn.
Like most of the cartoon's cast, a new trans-metal toy of Inferno was designed as part of the 1998 toy line. But perhaps because Inferno's first Beast Wars toy hadn't been a great seller, Hasbro instead chose to release the figure as a new character named Scavenger, and Inferno didn't undergo the trans-metal upgrade in the cartoon. He still remained a dangerous opponent, but his erratic personality did come to be played more for comedy as the series went on, culminating in his accidental destruction by friendly fire in the series finale. In the 21st century, it initially seemed as if the name Inferno was doomed to be reused at random, after 2002's Transformers Armada applied it to a Minicon missile truck, who was partnered with the Decepticon Thrust. But 2004's Transformers Energon quickly course-corrected when it introduced a new Inferno who transformed into a fire engine like the original. Though in terms of personality, this new Inferno was practically the original's opposite, a calm and collected sniper who would always think before acting, and who could combine with his fellow Autobots into larger forms. Inferno's showcase storyline in the Energon animated series saw him captured by Megatron and subjected to a torturous forced reprogramming in an effort to turn him into a Decepticon. He fought to prevent the evil programming from overwhelming him, but eventually, preferring to die as an Autobot rather than live as a Decepticon, Inferno plunged himself into the Autobots' Energon sun, which burned away the Decepticon programming even as it destroyed him. Fortunately, the Autobots were able to recover Inferno's purified spark, and he was soon reborn in a new body as Roadblock. Now, he was an orange truck crane, in homage to Grapple and the way that he shared a design with the original Inferno. 2008 saw the release of another new Inferno as part of the live-action movie toy line. Still a red emergency rescue vehicle, but now an ambulance rather than a fire engine, he was characterized as a psychologist who wrote software patches to help his patients process their feelings. Over the following decade, Inferno's made periodic appearances in Transformers toy lines, in variations of his classic fire engine form, be it as a tanker truck with a water cannon in the Transformers Universe toy line in 2009, as a prestige collector's figure in the high-end Masterpiece toy line in 2016, or as a combiner in 2018's Power of the Primes. In terms of media, he hasn't been very prominent. He appears here and there, but his only truly notable role has been in the 2013 comic book Regeneration 1, a continuation of the Marvel Universe, in which the process that transformed him into an Action Master caused him to lose control of his body temperature, leading him to live up to his name by periodically erupting in flames. Beast Wars Inferno, meanwhile, continues to appear as a separate character, coexisting alongside the Autobot, and for many kids of the 90s, he's still the first bot they'll think of when they hear the name Inferno. While there haven't been any new toys of his original ant form, there have been stories about alternate universe versions of the character who survived the Beast Wars and had their sparks placed into new vehicular bodies. Inferno's also featured in IDW Publishing's comic books as a member of Unicron's Beast Army, and he was considered for inclusion in the unproduced 4th season of Transformers Animated as one of Black Arachnia's Predacon mutants. Ancillary animated media also featured a version of the Autobot Inferno, a female incarnation visually based on the movie character but with the personality of the original. But because the Predacon was introduced first, the Autobot was given a new name, Flashpoint. But will it be the classic firefighting Autobot, the cult favourite fire-starting Predacon, or some new version of the character who'll be the next Inferno to blaze a path onto screens and shelves? Well, that's the burning question, isn't it? And those are the basics on Inferno. Some very different bots, but who's your favourite? Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed the basics, don't forget to give the like button a click, subscribe for more, ring the bell to be notified about future episodes, and if you can, consider supporting the series on Patreon to learn more about the world of the Transformers.